Call the meeting to order.
Jenkins.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
Vaughn.
Here.
Hess.
Here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There being no public comments or any proclamation presentations, we move to section 1, the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second it. Call it.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Harden.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
McKinley.
Yes.
Motion carried.
There being no unfinished business or any new business, we move on to other items. City manager and his report.
Today at 2 o'clock was the bid letting for the summer oil project program. Ileana was the lone bid. They came in at $27,802.75. That was under what was projected and sent into IDOT and pre-approved by the council. So we will proceed with that. So they should start within the next probably 10 days to 2 weeks with the oil chip program. Steve Woods was in town last week. Steve Woods is the gentleman that painted the large Says shoe mural over on Leroy on their store building. The Lincoln logo is down in Clinton. He came to town. He looked at several of the buildings. There had been a request to have that done. There's been several requests over the last couple of years. So I had him come to town. He looked at the side of Gamage Law Office. I showed him some of the old pictures that have been floating around about the mural for there, the corner furniture building down here, which is in dire need of a paint job anyway. And so he was going to go back, do a little research, and try to come up with a cost on what it would take to do something on the Gamage building, if Bruce would approve that, or something here on the corner furniture building. If he did that, he could pressure wash it, do a little bit of tuck pointing, go all the way down there with a farm scene of some kind, get a little feedback and see really what it is that people would like to put on there, if anything at all. And so I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from him. Again, he was there last Thursday. The Dewitt County RPC, the Regional Planning Commission, did meet on August 13th. They had pre-approved the site plans for the new Casey's out on Illinois Route 54. The next step will be going to the zoning committee, and after that it'll go to the full board on September 11th. The way, from everything that I've heard, there shouldn't be any glitches. There was a meeting one day last week in which Councilmember McKinley, the mayor, Ken Beth, members of the American Legion Post met, and there had been some discussion about how the American Legion was operating and under which classification of the license. During the meeting there was a lot of different discussion, and in coming out of that meeting that the city will create a new classification license for the club. That's been turned over to Ken Beth, and as of today, when I talked to him late today, he's still trying to get some of the language on that situated. Did talk to Ken also on another issue, and that's some of the dilapidated houses here in town. You know that there's one on South John that's been an issue over the years. There's one or two over on Richardson Street. Ken has told me that there's a couple different ways that we could get those properties cleaned up. That would be to obtain a court order to have them demolished. We could get a short notice through a judicial hearing and actually take ownership of the property. We clean the property up and then we in turn resell that parcel. So it would be a matter of just how in depth the council would like to get with that. And I would like a little feedback because I'd like to know if you'd like to proceed with that. I think that, and with Ken looked at it, that's about the only way to really get rid of some of those properties or force the owner to clean them up, is to go in there and get a demolition order and have them tore down. So, and have Representative of Boulder Designs give me a call about some type of a memorial out around the playground equipment at South Park. Jerry Schmitz brought in a Kiwanis logo to be affixed to that. So we're just trying to come up with something that's not too overwhelming, that would be respective to that playground equipment. And as we talked earlier in the year when we were working on the budget, the swimming pool we know needs painted and a little bit of attention. There will be a meeting in October. The pool will be drained at that point in time, so we can get in there and inspect it, see what really needs to be done to the swimming pool, and then proceed with some requests from the Park Foundation for those repairs.
Any questions to the city manager and his report?
So what kind of input are you needing then from us?
Quite frankly, I'd just like to know, is that the avenue that you want to go? We can, basically, if we go the route that we're going, you take the house on South John, which is very unsightly. We tell them that there's ordinance violations there. They board up a window, and we can't do anything about it. You still have an unsightly house. Now you have an unsightly house with some plywood over the windows. That really doesn't accomplish anything. Aesthetically, you know, you have an old nasty house. The one over on Richardson Street, which was featured on Channel 3, the back side of the house is coming down. You know, there's a lot of issues there. I'd just like to know, do you want for me to direct the city attorney to proceed with trying to get judicial orders to have the houses tore down? And then at that point in time, after we clean them up, then we can sell that property.
How are we going to pay for it?
Excuse me?
How are we going to pay for it?
Well, it'll have to come out of administration, so it'll just be something we won't get to do later in the year.
Are you talking about one house at a time, or are you going to just try to launch everything, or just?
I would go after the worst one, which to me would be over on Richardson Street. I would get that one started and see how that goes.
I've heard a lot about the one on John Street also.
Well, the one on John Street, a lot of traffic passes through that one. It's irrelevant to me which way you want to go. If you want to go after the one on John Street first. But I just
The
said,
one on Richardson, where,
That's the one that they had on WCIA Channel 3.
Yeah,
It was like,
Yeah, it's the one that the animals were coming out of it.
Yes.
So
it's over by our storage lots.
that'd be more of a health nuisance than the other one then, so. I guess that's a good question. What kind of cost are we looking at?
yeah.
You're looking at your attorney fees, so whatever time he has in it, and then whatever demolition costs would be. Now, if you don't have asbestos in the house, which I think the one on Richardson has got the asbestos shingles, I don't know about the one on John. If you don't have any asbestos removal, you're talking the city guys could go down there, knock it down, load it up in dumpsters, and then you'd have your dumpster fees.
I think we need to do it. It's just a big eyesore, and it's been there for a long time.
I'd like to do one at a time, and then hopefully the second one, when we send the order, hopefully that they see that we're very serious, and maybe they'll do something themselves.
So which avenue do you want to go?
I would say Richardson, I mean, the council can discuss it, but Richardson Street I know has an animal problem. I'm not sure if the one on John Street does. Know of any animal problem? That's open by
Just
your
that house next door.
Yeah,
The White House.
I do know that one was last fall that there were several kids in there. The police got them in there, and so
How many total houses are we looking at this year?
maybe 4.
4? I don't know, would the council object to going after 2?
I'd like to see the one on Richardson, and then I would really like to see the one on John. 'Cause that's what highly visible, and that doesn't look good at all.
It's never looked good very well.
There you go, go after 2.
Okay.
that's good.
Any other questions to city manager's report? Non-agenda items.
Yes. Streetlights down the way here, probably 300-400 block of Green Street and Market Street. maybe he doesn't like what we put up down there, but initially, but, you know, we could do something different that's more aesthetically pleasing and everything, and, but there needs to be streetlights down there.
I don't have his address. I will tell you that just today, Rob O'Malley talked to me over at the post office, and he's supposed to get me his address. So I really don't have a good way to communicate with him one-on-one as of yet. So
However, doesn't he have a business agent down at D-Land or something like that? Somebody, he's got
his
some
bankers in Decatur.
caterer or whatever, or somebody that he deals with. We need to get in touch with him and see. I feel.
You have something? Clark Foundation met just a couple of weeks ago, and the email I received, I had a thing at Lincoln's John's Mentor training, couldn't make it. We did not turn in the request for funds for the sidewalk, and did we not get that? Because they said, here recently, we were approved a sidewalk, correct? Clark paid a third of it, but we didn't send that in to them?
No,
Okay,
we do it once a year.
we do it once a year, okay, well, they were questioning about that.
I mean, I can send it next week, because it's on, it'll be on accounts payable for Saturday.
Before the October meeting.
Yes, okay.
All right, well, that was just a question they sent me, so. Any other non-agenda items or other business?
Heritage Days is coming along, planning's going really well, it was at the last meeting, and Jill and the crew are doing a great job, so it's.
Do you remember some of the bands? Somebody asked me if some of the bands that were gonna be there. Do you remember?
Nickel and Dimes, I think is gonna be there Friday night, and then there's the Walkabouts, maybe, on Saturday, and
Delta Kings.
Delta Kings, yeah. There might be one other, and then, so then, it's gonna be a lot like last year too, as far as the entertainment, a lot of vendors are coming back, things like that.
Any other items? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Second.
Call it?
Gardner,
Yes.
On,
Yes.
McKinley,
Yes.
Jenkins.
Meeting adjourned.